Hello everybody and good morning. Yes, it is the last leg of this trip. I am leaving Peculiar, Missouri. I am heading today via Springfield, Missouri, Minor, Missouri, then on to Nashville for the night. It's about 600 miles. First step of the trip, of course, I need to set the navigation. So let's do that. I'm going to go to Navigate. I'm going to go to the Springfield, Missouri Supercharger. Okay. All right. So once I set up the Springfield segment, I come down here at the bottom and I click here and I want to add. I hit add and I'm going to add Minor, Missouri. Now, this is what I call the neutral zone. It's the longest little section without a supercharger. So let's have a look at that here. I come down from where I'm at here in Springfield, or up in Peculiar. I come all the way to Springfield. Then I take this long thing. It's 241 miles. I'm going to drive it slow. I'm going to show you exactly how to drive your electric car. We're leaving Peculiar, going to the Supercharger here in Springfield, Missouri. From Springfield, Missouri, we're going to charge to 100%. The range of this car at 55 miles an hour is 297 miles. I'm going to set the speed to 60 miles an hour, and we're heading across the great void here of no superchargers from Springfield all the way to Minor. If I were to drive that at 70 miles an hour, I might not make it. But if I drive it at 60 miles an hour, I think I'm good to go. I've done it several times. So that's our run today. Once I get to Minor, Missouri, I'll add additional trip stops here all the way here to Nashville, Tennessee. There's the morning sky looking to the east. It's going to be a nice day. It's going to be windy, I think. It's going to be relatively clear, though. We're up here on Interstate 49, doing 70 miles an hour, which is speed limit. I am on autopilot, 7.3 miles to Highway 7, which takes us down through the town of Clinton, Missouri. Let's have a look around this morning up here on Interstate 49. Sun's coming up there. One of the things that really make traveling long distances here in the Tesla is the autopilot. And I'm running autopilot now. You see the blue lines? That means the car is looking at the road and driving down the center of the two lanes that I put it in. The car maintains this 99% of the time. Of course, when I come to a stop or get off the highway or whatever, I drive. But on a highway, the autopilot is my friend. And no trip is even possible without a Scottish breakfast in the morning. Just leaving the town of Clinton now. We're now on Highway 13 here, south of Clinton. Got 75 miles to go here to Springfield. Let's do a mileage check. Right now it's 59% on the battery. Our arrival is 23%. That's great. If you look at it from a mile standpoint, 168 miles. And 67 miles to go. You want to be doing that to verify that everything is good, that you'll make your destination. Yeah, I see that too, where the navigation changed my route through Rolla and Cape Girardeau and all that. We're not going to do that. We're going straight across the void. Let's have a look around here. just about at Supercharger here in Springfield. When you come down Highway 13, it takes you the back road here, as you can see.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
It's around the back, as you'll see. It's really cool. I think the owner probably has a Tesla because he gives you a free cup of coffee if you're a Tesla driver, so it works out okay. All right, we'll take 4B and I think it's 4A. These Superchargers, a lot of times who marks them are really screwy. Let me see. Yep. It's goes 1A, 1B, or sorry, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, then 1B, 2B. So it's really confusing. That's okay. Just gonna park it here and get hooked up. There's nobody here. It's 150 kilowatts. Up or there. Okay. Let's get hooked up here. Let's see what we arrived at. 22%, it predicted 23. It's right on the money. Miles, 62 miles. We then take a look here, and this shows us to the next place, which is Rolla. And we are not going to go there. So I'm going to cancel the navigation. Make sure we're at exactly 100%, because remember, this is the Great Void, and I've got to be able to charge to absolutely 100% to get across it. Oh yeah, there you go. The battery was nice and toasty. It preconditioned it. Once, what are we at here? We're at 62 miles or 22%. So we'll get this thing charged up here. Again, it's got to go to 100. It says 55 minutes. I can buy that. It's got to peak all the cells up here. So let's get charged. Where we're going to go today is the nav currently wants us to take us up 44 and around and down 55. We're not doing that. We're going to go across the Great Void. And the reason I call it that, the Great Void is a void of any charging at all. It's 241 miles from where I'm sitting. Come down here across Highway 60 and all the way 60, all the way right to there, which is the minor Supercharger. So that'll be today. Today is going to make it interesting. However, we have a southerly wind, which means the wind is coming this way, and it's predicted to be 22 miles an hour. Now, headwinds are rough on you. Side winds aren't so bad. However, I may end up having to get creative. A little bit about traveling the maximum distance here in an EV. You don't want to get in your car and charge it up to 100% knowing you've got to go a long distance. You'll want to take it easy from the very beginning. This is really important. So when I leave here, I'll be absolutely 100%. I will come down here. I'm driving 60 miles an hour and across here, which is 65 now. It used to be 60. And I'm going to do 60 until the arrival percentage comes up to a 2-digit number, 10% or greater. Once that happens, I'll bump the speed up to 65, and I will continue. I will continually watch my arrival percentage since this is really a long way without any charging. And as long as it stays a positive number, we're good. The last trip I came through here, I started doing the same. I left here with a predicted of 5%. About the time I got to about here, you can watch it on the video, we had an arrival percentage of 25%. I maintained the 60 for a while and then switched to 65 in here, and I arrived at something like 18%. So I think I can do that again. I have tested this car couple ways. I've tested it at 75 miles an hour. At 75 miles an hour, I get 234 miles of range. At 55 miles an hour, the test showed that I can get 297 miles of range, which is way past where I need to go. So at 60 miles an hour, I'll get a little less than 297, around 275 probably. With the wind, we subtract a little bit. It'll probably be rival, I'm guessing 5 to 9%, and that's fine. There is some buffer below zero. You don't want to have to use it. It's there just so that you have a backup. Reminds me of my old fossil fuel car. When it hits E, I knew I had 30 more miles to go. All except for my Ford Explorer. When it hit at E, you were walking. So this does have a buffer. I do not intend to use it on purpose. However, it could happen. A couple things you can do if you get down and dirty. Let's say your arrival percentage is getting in the low single digits and you want to make sure you get there. You can cautiously draft a big truck. There's some problems with that. If the road is dirty and everything else, he's probably going to be kicking up rocks. You run the risk, of course, to get your window chipped or broken from rocks out of the truck. You do not want to follow him too close. I generally, personally, follow trucks at 3 car lengths. It really makes a big difference over 20 miles to improve your arrival percentage. And then, of course, you can also drive slower. Remember, air to us appears to be a non-liquid, but technically it's a liquid. So you're pushing this object through liquid, and the faster you push it, you use more energy by the square. So slow down a little bit and watch your arrival percentage increase. All right, I've tricked the navigation into showing me a direct route here. We're at 91%. The arrival percentage here, if we look here, is showing 5%. But I'm not trusting that. I'm just going to run it to 100%, and we should be good. 5% in minor is fine, but we'll go ahead and we're in for a penny. Well, let's get in for a pound here. 92%. Catching up on emails and things here. Yeah, you can hear the wind. It's coming from the south here. This is an 8-stall, 150 kilowatts. It's located in the parking lot of the Maxi store here, which I think owns a Tesla. Anyway, I've got their fossil fuel, but if you're ever coming through the area, the Holiday Inn Express is right next door. So you could stay there, charge up, and head on down the road. All right, I'm just about topped up to max here. I'm going to get the heck out of here. Here we are, 5% upon arrival in minor still. If we look at it in miles, we're at 280 miles. I'm going to let it charge until it stops. It says 5 more minutes. And then I'm going to give it another couple minutes to just ensure that we are in fact 100%. Again, when you drive an electric car, it's generally never a problem. And I should get there without a problem. However, remember the rule. If you're going to be running near the end of your range, do not jump on it. Do not get on it hard. Set a speed that is like 60 miles an hour, which I think is pretty much the sweet spot, and you should be good. And when your arrival percentage increases enough into the 2 digits, you should be able to then push it a little bit harder. So together we're going to see how this goes. It's predicting 3 hours and 41 minutes, 242 miles. So should be an adventure. We'll pull out all the tricks. As soon as this gets to 100% here in another few minutes, we're hitting the road. All right, the car is indicating 100%, but it still says 5%. And this is typical, so don't freak out when it says that. Do not unplug until it says you're ready to go up here. Check our mileage. 282 miles. It'll probably stop around 285, maybe 287. We'll see. Now remember, when we get moving, our arrival percentage showing 5% here will start coming up. And we'll take it slow at the beginning, and we should be good. A few more minutes and we'll unplug. It looks like we are charged. Let's check a couple things. 283 miles. This car is 2 years old, has 41,000 miles, very little degradation. Generally, I don't charge it more than 80% around the house. When I take trips, of course, then you charge it up as necessary. 283, we're still charging at 7 kilowatts. I think we're good to go. We'll check one more thing here. Let's check the arrival percentage. Still showing 5%. It's not a problem. All right, let's unplug. We're going to take it easy. We're heading down the interstate here. All right, we're unplugged. This is the normal warning. It says stay below 65. Not a problem. We're going to stay below, see what our arrival percentage says now here. Still 5%. All right, we're going to take its advice. We're going to go 60 until the arrival percentage comes up. Let's go. We did one other modification. It's not really necessary, but I like to do it. I put it in chill. This gets rid of the power spikes when you use the accelerator, and that'll save a little bit more energy. All right, let's move it. I'm going to show you this too. When your battery is 100% full, you see the dots? Remember, these dots mean the battery is cold, and again, it won't charge below the dots. And it also means when you're in 100%, there's no place for the energy to go there either. So you have dots on the upper end right here. That's okay. Once we get down the road, we'll be just fine. Just on Highway 65 now, going around Springfield. Gonna be getting off here in about 4 miles on Highway 60. Doing 60. Doing a quick check of our energy usage. So far, we're now kind of on flat ground, as you can see. We're at 280 watt hours per mile. That's below the 305 I predicted to get there, so I think we'll be good. And this is going directly into the wind. All right, we're off here taking the exit. No brakes. A little bit of regen there, coming around the corner. Never use the brakes in an EV. One pedal driving is what you want to do. Okay, we're just getting on Highway 60 now. We'll set it for 60. Just like that. And now we're on autopilot on 60. On 60. We're about 30 miles down the road from the Supercharger, still doing 60. You see our arrival percentage increased now to 12%, about where I said it would be. A little bit more here, will be into the 20s, I think, at which point we're going to go ahead and boost the speed from 60 to 65. We'll see how that goes. The wind is probably 20 miles an hour out of the south. And as you can see from the road, we go kind of northeast, southwest, northeast, southeast, in and out of the wind, but it's okay. I think we'll be doing just fine. We'll watch it here. All right, let's have a look at the actual measured average here. We're averaging 235. It's predicting 250 miles at this speed, which is just fine. So what you do is you figure out the usable capacity in your EV, okay? There's 71 kilowatt hours, okay? We're gonna do this in hours. Then I divide 234 by 71,000, and that gives us a predicted miles. And the number you see over there is that number, 250 something. Get it right, we can see it. So that's the calculation. You can do it manually. You can do it on any EV. If your EV is not so equipped that it calculates this stuff for you, find out the usable pack power, or I should say energy, and divide it by the watt hours per mile. In the case of Tesla, some of the other cars use different measurements, but they're all semi-related, and you can kind of predict actually where you're going to be. So there you go. That's what we got. And then Tesla has an additional function. It's called Trip, and it predicts the actual arrival. And if you can see this here, it's predicting 12% when we'll be out, which is fine. We're going to be well there in 12%. One thing with the Tesla you'll find under this graph, it actually calculates the terrain data, mountains, hills, those kinds of things, and that's how it comes across this calculation. We've gone 37 miles so far. We've got 242 miles total to travel in this zone of no chargers. We're in the town of Seymour, Missouri now. Have a look around here. Just passing the city of Kabul now. All right, we're at 7% here now. We're just coming out of the mountains. This big rig passed me, so I'm going to take the opportunity to draft. I'm 3 cars behind, following distance. And my plan is to stay here for a little bit to get my arrival percentage up. I run the risk, of course, to get a rock in the window, but we'll play around here. I do want to show you how this works. Not that you want to do it, but you can check. Let's look at the energy now. The energy is dropped significantly. If you look over there on the right-hand side, you'll see that our average watt hour per mile way down. So we'll see how this goes. Look at that, 196, and that'll push our arrival up here. We'll stay here in autopilot behind him a little bit. He's doing right at 65, 5 miles an hour more than I was doing, which happens to be the speed limit. All right, well, that didn't last long. The truck turned off on Highway 63, but we're starting to get off the hills here. As you can see, it's kind of a downhill. Look at the amount of energy used here. I think we'll be just good. Just stopped here at Mountain View, McDonald's, for a Scottish lunch and a break. It's been a long drive. 130 miles to go here. I've got my Scottish lunch finally. Let's look at the stats. 135 miles to go, 57%. The battery reports 161 miles, so we're good. It's got a good, 38 or 40 miles extra. We're going to continue to drive 60 like you should with any EV on such a long stretch. Got just a little over halfway to go, and it's I think mostly downhill, so let's hit it. All right, we're at 50% here now, and 10% on arrival. I am now going to turn the heating and air conditioning on. I've been running just the fan, but it's now getting hot, so we'll go ahead and set this for say 7. Just coming out of the mountains here now on Highway 60, heading downhill. That means energy and range. This is what it looks like when you get regen, all that green there. And the average usage is 209 and falling here, 206. Not bad. Downhill. Poplar Bluff, 25% on the battery. That is 71 miles. Shut this off. There we go. Let's look at our arrival percentage. Arrival percentage is showing 5%, which is fine. 5% is about 15 miles of range. The wind here is, gee whiz, it's probably 25 miles an hour here in Poplar Bluff. The good part is it's behind us now and it's pushing us. So we should have pretty good arrival percentage here. All right, let's take a look at this here. We've got 22% in the battery, or 63 miles. I take that off. We arrive with 5%, and I think we're going to get an update. The car calculates every 5 minutes here, so I think we're good. All right, we're getting there now. 12% on the battery. We've got 5% on arrival, and we're doing 65 here, which is the speed limit. I think we're good. Got a whopping 20 miles to go. We'll be there. 4.9 miles to go. We're going to go get up on the interstate, short run, and then get right off, and we're at Supercharger. 5% in the battery. It looks like 4% upon arrival. I think we're doing just fine. We're up here on Interstate 55 now, and we're getting off right here. First exit. Yep, no problem. 4% on arrival.
Now you have arrived at your destination.
Like she said. The Superchargers are behind the restaurant called The Drunk. It's a nice place, actually. The food is decent. All right, looks like we got 3 customers. Got to find a unused one. It looks like it's the inner one. Let's see, 4B, 4A. I have to get over here. 3A. All right, let's get hooked up here. Let's check specs. We've got 10 miles of range, 4% of battery. We're good. Let's get hooked up. All right, we're going to charge up. We're going to go use the facilities in the Mexican restaurant, and I'll be back. Located right behind El Borracho is the 8-stall Supercharger here. 150 kilowatts. It's been here a while. This is a place called Minor, Missouri. It's right at the end of Highway 60, and then you can go east, west, north, or south from here. Looks like I've got 4 customers. Everybody has their own cabinet. It's a good day. You never know who you're going to meet on these things. This is Candy, and you're from Indianapolis? Near there, which is great, and you're headed south.
Yes.
Excellent. You enjoying your Model 3?
Brand new, so some range anxiety.
That's okay. Trust in the navigation. All right. Nice meeting you, Candy. Say hi to Pete for me. All right, see ya. Bye. Now, 129 kilowatts, and we're at 129 miles and 45%. Okay, let's set the navigation. Our goal is to head to Nashville, Tennessee. Let's set that up. Okay, been this way lots of times. What it's going to do here, it actually wants us to drive direct, which is okay from here. It says 25 minutes. I don't think I'm going to wait 25 minutes because I've been here a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a stop, okay, right here. We're going to stop in charging. We're going to stop right here, Katawa. Okay, 5 minutes more and we're on the way. This makes traveling a little bit faster if you can actually stop for a few minutes It looks like just 20 minutes in Katawa and then on to Nashville. So when we're done in 5, we're hitting the road. All right, we are good to go. Got heading to Nashville, obviously. We're going to stop in Katawa for 15 minutes, 22% upon arrival. So let's hit the road. Just leaving the Minor, Missouri Supercharger, charged up enough to get to Katawa. A big shout out to Candy and Pete in their brand new Model 3. They live in the Indianapolis area and our first trip in the new car. They're headed south. We talked a little bit. It was nice meeting them. Just remember, Candy, always scroll up so you can see the arrival percentage. That is your friend. On Interstate 57 now. Get off in 10 miles. We're going across country, heading to Illinois for a few hundred yards, cross some very cool riveted bridges, and then into Kentucky. Yeah, just crossing the bridge here. One of these rivers is the Mississippi. I think maybe this one. I'll have to look on the map. I'll put it up on the screen. It's not a lot of space here, as you can see. The mirror is maybe less than a meter to the side there. It's I don't think this is the Mississippi. I'm not sure. Anyway, when we get to the land up ahead, that's Illinois. I get 300 feet of Illinois and then back up on the bridge here. You'll see that. Let's go to bang, bang.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto US 51.
All right, welcome to Illinois. And
Now turn right onto US 51.
What she said. We'll turn right here, and we are leaving Illinois. This is the Ohio River here. Oh, great. Every time I come on here, there's a dang semi. Last time was in the truck, which was as wide as a semi. All right, so this is the Ohio River now, as you can see. And we look this way. All right, we're officially in Kentucky now. That was a very quick trip to Illinois. We're crossing over here. You can look out here. It's kind of interesting, all these barges out here carrying all kinds of things. All right. I don't know the age of these bridges, but I would bet they're older than me. And that's old. All right, we're on a causeway or a viaduct. I don't know what you call it. It's a raised highway here. This land here, they plant, and it's raised because the river will flood occasionally, so there's no houses here. So we'll go this way. This is the town of Wycliffe. Wonder how many times this place is flooded out. It's awful close to the river.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Court Street.
Here's downtown Wycliffe. Looks like we have maybe the courthouse.
Now turn left onto Court Street.
All right, that was Wycliffe, just leaving it now. All right, here we are. We've arrived at 42 miles in Katawa, or 15%. And let's have a look here. Battery should be more than warm. Yeah, look at that, peaking at 147 kilowatts. This is a 150 kilowatt station. We're a whopping 88 miles, or percentage-wise, we're at 31%. There you are. All right, I'm going to go use the facilities here way over there at the BP station. Make that about 1/8 of a mile, which is fine. Need the exercise sitting here. I'm going to go do that, and then I'll be back. All right, charged 16% on arrival here in Nashville. Straight run. Get my hand out of the way there. And looks good. Let's go. Southbound Interstate 24, 102 miles to go. Just coming into the Nashville Metro now. Got about 18 miles to go, and I'll be there. Made it here to Nashville. Excellent. Now I gotta dodge all the potholes. If you liked the video, go ahead and click the like, and if you would, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you'll see more of the content going forward.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto Home Road.
Thanks for watching. I'll look for you in the next videos, and take care.